Hey guys, welcome to my channel Forward Kaizen. If you are new here we explore different kind of spiritual topics and our day-to-day relevance with each of them. So today's topic that we are discussing is receptivity. Receptivity is the magic wand you have been looking for. I can swim in shallow waters perfectly. To this false declaration, my friends reply, you can't swim unless you know how to swim in deep waters. I found out I don't enjoy it when water enters my ears and nose. Therefore, I move my body in panic and struggle more. The more I panic, the more I drown further. When I breathe in and remain still for 4 to 5 seconds, I start to float. But what has this got to do with receptivity? Good receptivity will allow you to determine your reaction ahead of any given situation. It's a huge advantage in today's time. It is actually very simple and easy. Friends, it is always courageous to look at our flaws, question them and find out where it has originated from initially. Once you can identify it, confront the feelings of that old memory of origination. A psychologist will call this process trauma identification. You have clearly never given attention to that wound, so it has rotten and stings your personality. No one is sad because they enjoy being miserable. If you find yourself behaving often glumly with others or with yourselves or with your surroundings, it is a warning sign for you to look inwards and resolve what it is that has inculcated that emotional charge in the first place. Once you identify the emotional charge, our journey begins. If you observe the series of events, conversation and circumstances that bring up that emotional charge in you, you will be able to understand that it is a circle which will keep on repeating itself until and unless you sit with it and fix it permanently. When we don't understand our triggers, we tend to zone out. This is one of my personal pet peeves. At the moment, things get worse before better. And I'm dripping in more emotional responses than conscious observation of my triggers. To be involved, we need receptivity. It is not much different from willingness. It is the ability to be present with a person or situation completely. It is the readiness to receive something which we don't already have. To make you better understand this, let's take a social context. Suppose you are meeting your old friend after a long time and you do not particularly like this person. There are 3 ways you can deal with them. 1. To consciously ignore the person. 2. To treat this person as your own child or your own family member and make them look inward at their flaws for self-examination. 3. To treat them as a fool and challenge their beliefs to the point that now they are emotionally charged by having a conversation with you. In ignoring the person, as in the first case, you're causing irreparable damage to both of you, because what is not resolved in this lifetime will carry on to the next lifetime as well, thereby karmically bonding the person with you in a stronger sense. The second and third option is still a better choice, because at least by doing this, you deem the person worthy enough to be corrected or understood. There is no receptivity involved in the first option, yet there is sufficient receptivity involved in the last 2 options. For your own personal well-being, it is important for you to be receptive rather than disconnected. In this life, we cannot live fully unless we are 100% involved with each and every element and aspect of your life. It is very important to be present and have deeper meaningful relationships with everyone around us, and being receptive to those people is a great way to do that. So back to my swimming story. How did I understood that I needed to be receptive? When I recently swam, I felt very taken care of by the water, yet I am exceptionally aware of my own mortality. I know when I enter any kind of water body that I must be at my utmost attentiveness for the sake of my own life. I always try to swim. Successful or not is a question for a later day. I can float with my face inside the water, but I cannot float on my back. My friend shouted at me when she saw me struggling. Float from your back, you have to let go. If the water enters your ears, just stay calm for a second and you will be able to swim. I could not float last time because my back is too heavy with all the burdens and tensions that I carry because of my inability to let go, quite literally. So, what do? Surrender. There were 5 people. The water is just 5 feet. I'm 5'4". 3 of those 5 people are good swimmer. If I'm just calm for 10 to 15 seconds, relax my body, store my breath, I can float with my face facing sky. The task was that simple. My body didn't get the memo though. So as soon as the water started at work, I fluttered like a bird in cage and found my feet stumble on the ground. Maybe 5th attempt, this time I chilled for 5 longest seconds. The water entered my ears and nose. I let it enter. I focused on keeping my body calm and tension free. I floated for about 20 seconds wonderfully. Back in the day, when I used to float for 15 to 20 minutes, it's just a distant memory now. Because back in the day, I did not used to care much. I did not have as many responsibilities as I have now. So, to be receptive, it is very important that you surrender to the present moment. Let us look at the origin of our first emotional charge and how resolving this can help our receptivity. So I almost drowned during my swimming lessons when I was in standard 6. I didn't feel good. The trainer threw me on the deep waters after 10 sessions of floating activity. I told him I'm not ready, but he pushed me anyway. After 10 to 15 seconds of struggling, I lost my air and saw my body sinking in the water. The last thing I saw was sun shining like a torch beam in this blue world of danger. Time went slow for me. All this happened in about 2 to 5 minutes, but it felt like hours. People say they think a lot in near-death experiences, but I never do. For me, it was just blank, nothing. So my trainer anyway jumped into the water and saved me, naturally. And my back felt stiff from that day, and it has not felt any lighter. While I was doing this practice of swimming with my friends quite recently, I identified that very first experience I had with water and how the trauma of that is still carried on with me to this day. And this is the reason I was not able to float. The art of letting go and just surrender is the key to floating in life or floating in water. There is always something greater than you that is saving you. Be it your faith, your parents' blessing, your sisters, your spouse, and if nobody, then there's just a trainer or a kind person lurking around the corner that will definitely help you. It takes us integration of our traumas to be a better version of what we are currently. It will take identification of the incident and active working on resolving the very first fear or the very first emotional charge that fear inculcated. Once you are in the process of working towards its resolution, you need to be receptive. To be receptive, just surrender to the situation, be willing to learn and observe intensely how your body is feeling at that exact moment, and let it go. My back felt lighter once I successfully floated. So, what can I teach you from this experience? The advantages of being receptive. When you're receptive, you listen to people better. You understand them and their struggles better. You can help them in a much more customized way that will actually work from them. And when you start doing the above 3 for others, you start doing above 3 for yourself now. This phase will come. You enjoy whatever activity, situation or person you are being receptive to. The divine energy flows through you because you are being receptive to its grace. Now, while talking about receptivity, I want to make it very clear that receptive is not absorbing. It is a deception that don't be an energy absorber is often confused with absolute involvement in the present moment. These are two very separate things. When you absorb, you do it unconsciously without your choice. While when you're involved, that is when you're being receptive, you do it because you're willing to. With this, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being receptive to my words. I will see you again, and remember to stay receptive and to let it go when the time comes. This is Forwardly Kaizan, and I will speak to you again. Thank you.